looks like 3 to 4 smaller bucks in there. There's one decent one. We'll get a better look at him.
Well, the wind's still blowing in Kansas. We're gonna go try to shoot this buck right now.
So let's take this right down.
Okay, we've arrived in Kansas, final hunt of the year. We've separated two teams, Utah versus Wyoming. Craig and I have mule deer tags. Jeremy and Mike brought whitetail tags. So we're gonna make a little competition out of this. We're after about a 170 class mule deer. They're after about a 140 class whitetail. We're gonna spot them about 50 inches in total. We're going to get 10 points if you shoot over 300. You're gonna get 20 points if you shoot over 400. And if you shoot a little close, we're gonna take 10 points off that.
When he says 300 and 400, that's distance.
Yeah.
Not overall antler inches.
Sure.
Oh, what's a little close?
Sure. Under 200.
Under 200?
Under 200,
Okay.
We're losing 10 points.
All right.
300, it's
300 and over, you get 10. 400 and over, you get 20. We'll just tally it, and the most points win. We're giving them a 50-inch handicap, essentially. If they don't win, it's unbelievable. Losers are wearing a mustache at the 3 big shows this year.
Oh, wait a minute.
wow.
We'll see how day 2, day 3
Wow.
is going.
Mustache
You would
only?
look good though with a mustache. I can see it.
Well, we didn't even get in here, and we've got some deer spotted out here. We could tell right away that they're mule deer. There's about 20 head out there, so not really sure why we're getting out the spot and scope, because we're just helping the other team out if we see a big one. But we got to take a look, no matter what. Got to look at them, so it could be a big buck out there. Well, there's looks like 3 to 4 smaller bucks in there. There's one decent one. We'll get a better look at him. You'll notice that we're getting some wind. We left Wyoming, we beat the storm to Kansas, but we've got some serious weather coming in. It's supposed to be 15 to 20 mile per hour winds the next 3 to 4 days, and the highs are going to be 15 to 20 degrees, and then the wind chills are going to be sub-zero. We're going to be fighting some weather, but it's actually going to make the hunting a lot better. Well, a whole bunch of does, a couple mule deer bucks. No shooters yet, but you know, it's the day before the season. The sun's just about to go down. It's the perfect light right now, and they're just starting to stand up from everywhere. One advantage we have over the other team, over Craig and Garrett, is that Mike and I were the ones that put together those muzzle loaders. So I'm pretty sure they're over there just hating life right now, thinking that we're messed up their muzzle loader. So they both shoot lights out. So if they miss, they just missed.
Well, I think we kind of got played a little bit.
Did we get
on the
buffaloed? Those Wyoming boys, they don't play fair all the time, do they?
That's all right. It's early. It's early. That's all right. We're learning what they're about. We got a couple problems. We got dropped off to a little small piece of land. Mike claimed there's a couple big deer here. We saw a very small 2-4 point. Second of all, we have not shot the muzzleloader yet. And Mike shot the muzzleloader, actually. Claims it's dead on, same hole, kind of blah, blah, blah. Same story from Mikey. Nobody saw the target. I didn't see it, did you?
Just heard about it.
So we got a couple things going against us, but
The problem we have is conditions are supposed to get really windy here this whole 3 or 4 days. So
cold, bitter cold.
So 200 yards really could be a far shot in the conditions that we have this week. But hey, we do what we got to do, right?
But we got these couple out here. I think they have, I don't think any of them grown horns, so we're gonna kind of wait out this sunset. Like Craig said, weather tomorrow. Big competition starts tomorrow. We're excited, but they ain't got anything. I'm not too worried.
Hey.
I don't want to wear a mustache.
Oh man, why did you even say that? I don't know if I really like that. For 2 reasons. I don't know if I want to ever wear a mustache, and I don't know if I ever want to see either of those guys with a mustache. Ugly on ugly is still ugly though.
That's true.
So maybe a mustache will help, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, Mike, Jeremy, man, hey,
Love you guys.
Fun begins
Love you
tomorrow.
guys.
Good
It's
luck.
all good. It's all good.
Good luck.
Well, I got you 2 point, G. It's not. How fast can you grow a mustache?
Opening morning in Canvas. We got our snow clothes on. Weatherman was right. It is freezing cold. 20-mile-an-hour wind. We're with the enemy this morning. We're with Mike and Jeremy. We came to a meeting spot to make sure everybody plays fair. Starts out this morning from the same spot. But action started, a little shooting around us, a few deer running around. But we're gonna stay out of the wind, see if we can't find a couple deer and see what happens.
Well, we heard some shots over there earlier. And sure enough, here come a buck boiling out, a pretty good one. Nice wide frame. We couldn't count points. He came over pretty quick. But he's kind of hobbling on the front end. He's not wanting to go too hard. I think they must have hit him over there. Just too quick. We couldn't get on him fast enough.
A little chilly today. Wind? Wind is blowing. We might move that range in a little bit.
I think we got a shooter. Look at that buck. All right. It is freezing here in Kansas. 30 degrees colder than it was yesterday.
We are bundled up. Kregg spotted a couple deer this morning feeding late in the morning. Kregg got the spotting scope out, saw there was a couple that we didn't get a good look at. So snuck up around them. Sure enough, there was a buck in there we haven't seen. We didn't see him last night, we didn't see him this morning when they were sneaking up. So he's that size where we're trying to put a couple inches on him. We're gonna take a hard look at him in this wind. We're getting about 10 to 15 mile an hour readings on the wind meter. It is bitter cold, wind's blowing, gonna make it for a very tough shot, but I think we can do it. We're set up right now at about 450 yards away from the animals. They're bedded, don't know we're here. Just up this little draw here. Very flat country. You get these little draws where the deer are just stuck in and bed down. I'd like to get to 401 so we can get the 20 bonus points, but we're not gonna get too greedy. The Wyoming boys haven't seen anything this morning. I think they're still at the hotel actually. It's too cold for them. So Kregg and I are feeling really good about things. Well, Garrett and Kregg have just spotted a nice buck down in the bottom down there. He's decent, he's nothing huge, but they're gonna put some points on the board, it looks like. They're gonna put some pressure on us. They're gonna have points on the board and we're not, so, and we have not seen a whitetail this morning. So it's not looking good for us. So we're up here, we've kind of got the bird's eye view of what's happening down there. They're sneaking in. It looks like they're going to shoot about 400 yards. So if they get him knocked down, they're going to have points on the board and some bonus points on top of that. But going to be a tough shot. We'll see how they do. Just getting up to these two white rocks. He's going to be 100 yards or 300 yards. There goes nothing. Well, we got to where we wanted to be, but they're tucked behind a little outcropping. We can't see them. We have to keep moving. But our plan that we thought was pretty bulletproof is stymied for the moment, so we'll get it figured out. Okay, we found the animals. They're in a good setup. Tricky part's gonna be getting us in position to do it. They're close. Not gonna be the longest shot of the week, but we're trying to put some points on the board. He just. Oh, that's.
Way to go, Kregger, huh? Huh? Way to go. Hey, so we're trying to bring you long shots, we really are, but the wind, the terrain, we come in here, we hope for about a 300-yard shot. Wasn't there.
Nope.
We snuck around, we looked at every option we had, and 115 yards later, we had our shot. All right, let's go take a look at him.
Yeah.
We got a pretty short hike, so.
Oh yeah.
Huh? Huh? All right, look at that. He's what we thought he was. Kansas, huh? We will take it. We will look at that old mangy cape, huh? Huh? Getting late in the season. I like it. What a thrill, huh? Almost like we planned it. Look at this cavity. Yeah, you know, broke up there. Hey, Wyoming's behind, man. Huh? We got points on the board.
He's better than we thought he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Way to go, man. Way to go. Look at that, huh? Nothing wrong with that. Look at that.
No, he's heavy.
He is.
And he's a good buck, man.
What do you think, man, huh?
Yeah, bro. Oh yeah, he's nice. He's heavy.
Oh, man.
Right on. Garrett,
What do you think, huh?
thank you, bro.
Hey.
I'm just glad he's broke here. I'm just glad he's broke there and he's a little short here and he's gonna add up though. We gotta put some points on the board. Yeah. Hey, he's heavy all the way up.
Yeah, good buck.
Hot dog, man. 1 down, 3 to go, huh?
Okay, it's afternoon of day 3. We came back up to where Garrett killed his buck opening morning. We knew there's some deer in here. They really like this valley, and we ended up turning up a 3-point that we saw. Yeah, I see him. These deer are just running back and forth. It almost looks like they're spooked, but they're just chasing each other. There's one buck with about 10 or 11 does. He's a deer we saw and actually passed on him. He was in that same group with Garrett's, and he's just a little smaller, but he's one of the better bucks we've seen in the 3 days we've been hunting. So we're back in here. I think it's a buck we probably want to shoot. You know, we only have another day left, and so he's clear down the bottom of this valley. We're gonna see if he can work his way up. The property we're actually allowed to hunt on is on this side of the fence. Then they're on this side right now, but the way they're chasing, the wind's blowing this direction. There's nothing that would. That's our 4-point with 9 yards. I think he's probably a shooter too.
We're going in after him?
These bucks just had like the most epic fight I've ever seen 2 deer have. This buck's locked horns, they were fighting, tussling around. And the buck that we were gonna go shoot, he just broke off his G2 right then, right in front of us. He whooped the other one's butt and chased him out. Now he's broken off. He was a 3x4. I think now he's like maybe a 4x2. I mean, he's still one of the better bucks we've seen. That was just so cool to see that happen. Those deer down the valley about 1,000 yards. We can't get any closer to them. This long yellow grass just peters out right down to them. There's no way to get above them. So we're gonna work our way down this valley behind us. Get down, sneak down that little draw. Hopefully pop up and be within a few hundred yards of them. So that's our game plan. There's 3 bucks down there. 3, 5, 7 in the back. All right, we've got these deer in this valley. The grass is just too long. We can't shoot from here. They're 570, and they're feeding left to right to this little valley. I've got a hill just ahead of me. How far's that hill? 100 yards. If we can get to this hill, get out on this knob, it'll be about a 400-yard shot across this grassy valley. The wind's blowing right to left, and they're going up. Hopefully they'll go right up this side hill, give us a shot. That didn't happen exactly like we planned it. We came up this draw thinking they were all bedded down. We came face to face with a small 4.2 does at like 25 yards. They saw us, they looked at us, and then they bolted off, but luckily for us, they went up, and then they went around. These other ones stood up. The bigger buck with the broken point, he was actually tucked in behind, and Garrett couldn't see him with the camera, but that 3-point stood up just perfect right there broadside. And so, we put him down. That was the craziest thing. This muzzleloader bullet is so big and just so solid. It'll zip right through those animals like they're not even touched. It looked like I hit way to his left, just dust flew up. But all these other deer ran at me, it looked like he went up in there and then just teetered and fell over. My antelope did the same thing last year. Hey, Team 801, that might not be the biggest buck, but
It's 300 to nothing though.
awesome, man. Hey, that's my first muzzleloader buck ever. 3x3. I'm excited, man. about 315 yards. Awesome. Hey, thanks for following me around, G. It's freezing cold. Let's put our gloves back on, go check him out. Well, first muzzleloader buck down in my life. Had to come all the way to Kansas to get one. I'm from Utah. That's where we get the Team 801 from, for me and Garrett. If we're both from Utah, and that's that northern area code. I can see him laying in that yellow grass. I shot him right there, just below that tree. You can see that bank. From there to where he ended up, heck, it's only about 35, 40 yards. But he just bolted up that ravine, and we both just looked at each other like, that's the craziest thing. How did I miss him that bad? I don't claim to be the best shot in the shop, but come on, 315 yards, I should be able to do that in my sleep. So. He's got cool eye guards. You know, there wasn't I really wanted to shoot that buck. We just saw get the broken horn. But to be honest with you, he was just out of camera sight, is really what happened. So when this buck stood up, I mean, he did the Hollywood pose right there in the sun, and Garrett's like, hey, it's go time, I'm on him. So, oh, but he's a cool buck. He's got awesome eye guards. Nice. Man, look at that. Look at that, came right out his shoulder. Look at that shot. That is exactly where I hit that antelope. Look at that right there. See that? Isn't that nuts? That came right out the exact spot as my antelope last year in Wyoming. And he did almost the same thing. Boom! I love it! Yeah. That's so nuts, man. I can't believe that. That is, I mean, can you put a shot any better than that? Hey. There he is, man. Look at that. My first muzzle. Look at those eye guards. That is awesome. He almost looks like a whitetail frame, doesn't he? Spitting image of about 145-inch whitetail, 140-inch whitetail. Hey, Team 801 comes to Kansas. We have a little friendly competition with the guys in the shop, Mike and Jeremy. You know, they're pretty big deal, bigdeal.com, you know. But, you know, Garrett and I like to think that we can hold our own once in a while. So coming out here and getting a chance to hunt these Kansas mule deer. Doesn't happen every year, and we're sure happy it did. And because I think this is gonna be a rematch, because I don't think those 307 boys are gonna be able to pull it off. Get ready for a little mustache action at the trade shows if we see you this next year. Awesome, awesome.
It's looking like Team 801, Team Utah, Garrett and Kregg are up 300 inches on Team Wyoming, Jeremy and Mike. We've got less than a half an hour of daylight left, and I think we're gonna call this hunt a wrap and just eat crow and let those boys from Utah have their victory. It'll be the only time they get one. So I think my face is froze. If you can't see that permanent smile, we're gonna pack up and head back to the truck and just call Kansas a go for 2013.